Welcome to the That's Good Sports podcast. Now with in the name because of a copyright dispute I'm currently having with myself. So just got to be safe. I am Brandon Perna here with Will Keys, here to discuss everything football related for your podcasting ears. Again, I missed another week last week, okay? Let's just address this right up front.
Let's face this head on.
So that's, I think, 2 podcasts I've missed in the last few weeks.
Whoa, we missed the first one together.
Yeah, that was Thanksgiving week, right?
Yeah, that's an excuse.
Okay, so we made a few in a row, and then I got the flu last week and just could not get away from the toilet long enough to record a podcast.
You get away to record like half of a podcast, but a full podcast?
No, sirree.
You could have done it from the toilet.
I could have. Thursday was miserable. That would have been the worst podcast we've ever done, and that is saying something.
Somehow I doubt that.
You know, like those lists where they rank the worst things of the year?
Yeah.
We didn't make that list because they said there was just too many to choose from. So
we can't just pick one.
Right.
Anyway, how was your Christmas? What did you do?
Oh, it was good. Just like the typical Christmas family stuff.
Did Santa bring you anything?
I got a new computer monitor. But since I run off of a Mac, they don't make it easily accessible to set up. And even though I have about 50,000 fucking cords in that pile of what it looks like trash behind me, none of them are the appropriate adapter to go HDMI into whatever holes Mac builds. So I had to order a new adapter so that I can actually use it tomorrow.
That's absurd. It's 2019. There should really just be one wire. Maybe not even one wire. Just magnets. All magnets, as far as I'm concerned.
Everything could be magnetized.
I still don't know how magnets work exactly. I know they explain it in like the 4th grade, but I was probably sick that day. And anyway, magnets are just a complete mystery to me.
Yeah, they're just like gravity.
They're basically magic. I want computers to run on magic.
I think magnets are just gravity in things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Anyway, I saw the movie Uncut Gems.
Oh, is that
yesterday
good?
With Adam Sandler. Definitely recommend that to everyone.
Yeah. Really, I was talking about that yesterday. I definitely want to see it.
Yeah, if you're a fan of The Sandman, if you're a fan of sports gambling, if you're a fan of Kevin Garnett.
Cameos, sports cameos.
If you're a fan of cameos, if you're a fan of Mike Francesa, if you're a fan of Ethiopian gem mining, which I know a lot of you are, you love Uncut Gems.
Is this the sequel to Blood Diamond?
Yes, it is.
Perfect.
Yeah, Adam Sandler has a South African accent the whole time.
Oh, that would have been cool. Just unexplained.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, really good movie. We're not sponsored by them or anything. I'm just telling you on my own free will.
Yeah, and Will has good taste in movies for the most part. Every now and then he'll have a take about a great show like Silicon Valley.
Yeah, you don't like my TV takes. My movie takes are always good. The TV ones are questionable.
Oh boy,
with a lot of people.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I think it's one of the best top 5 comedy sitcom shows.
Well, we're gonna have to write that list out after football season's
we'll
over.
Save that for the off season. Today, NFL is wrapping up this week. We're gonna talk about the Broncos Raiders game a little bit and who or what we kind of want the Broncos to play for there. Then I've got just few NFL stats to drop on people and the playoff picture, how that's shaping up, which games kind of matter, which teams are clinched and in. And quickly we'll go through the picks. The final season of the NFL is really just a roll of the dice, whether or not the game matters or not. And it's just crazy, like looking at the NFL schedule with all the games happening on Sunday. It's like there's so much football just in one day, and a lot of it's going to be meaningless, but probably like there will still be good football. I'm thinking
we've got to get Sunday night football game, which I think we're all excited about.
Yeah, that's huge with Marshawn Lynch coming back now too. Just to add a little cherry on top of that.
Very bizarre storyline. I guess we can get into that right now.
Yeah, start with that.
But so the Seahawks lost Chris Carson and CJ Prosise, I believe both last week.
Yeah.
Against Arizona. And they said, hey, you know what? Instead of going out and signing a player that has, played recently, said, who's the best running back in Seattle history? Well, let's just go sign him. And they got Marshawn Lynch and talked him into a contract for not an extended period of time, literally as far as they go this season.
Yeah, he's going to make like $60,000 just for playing this weekend. If they get to the Super Bowl, he can earn up to like $250,000. The crazier part of this to me is they also signed Robert Turbin, who also has not played all year.
Right, that was weird too.
And they're similar in that they're these two big, bulky backs, and you would have to imagine that you could find somebody maybe in more of football shape to bring in.
Right.
Because I love Marshawn Lynch coming back just because he's always been one of the most entertaining players both on and off the field to follow. He's like a guy you root for. And honestly, he could come back and be really good for a couple weeks and help them. Robert Turbin, I don't know. I feel like
that was kind of strange.
There's got to be a waiver wire guy, a guy on a practice squad. I know they worked out CJ Anderson as well, but
it was like his new role in the NFL is just to join a playoff team.
Yeah, and help them
take them to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because CJ had a huge role for the Rams through last postseason. Mm-hmm. It was like one of the cool stories. But Marshawn Lynch, kind of crazy.
Very strange. The 49ers were kind of making fun of that. They took a picture with Jerry Rice in the new uniforms.
I didn't see that.
I saw that picture of Jerry Rice, and you know what? I thought he could probably go out there and catch like 4 passes for 43 yards.
I don't think so. I saw him in the commercial with Brett Favre over the holidays, the Gold Bond.
Yeah.
I said, no, he's done. No way.
Based on a Gold Bond commercial?
Yep. Based on the way I saw him, the way his hips moved on the field in the touch football Gold Bond segment, he looked old.
Did you get the all 22 of that commercial?
No, I'm still waiting for that to drop.
Yeah. Well, you're not allowed to have an opinion until you see the all 22.
The all 22. It would show all the plays that Jerry Rice was open and his young dumb quarterback hadn't gotten to his read yet, so he missed him.
That's right. Yeah. So don't judge until you watch.
Right. So, but it's the 49ers Seahawks who do play Sunday night, and that determines the division winner, right? Yeah.
Yep.
We'll get into that with the playoff stuff. What I want to talk about, Will, is because I was working on like the Broncos Raiders episode, which I'll share with you when we're done here, because I didn't predicting like the last game is always silly when the one team doesn't have to go to the playoffs. So I was like, what do we talk about here? And then I saw Nick Kindle tweet out from Mile High Huddle that if the Broncos win, they could drop from the 11th pick down to the 17th pick. And right now the Raiders have the 14th and 18th pick, but technically can still make the playoffs. They have to win this game to have a chance. But then I started thinking about how much dropping from 11 to 17 would affect the Broncos. And as much as I think any Broncos fan always wants to see them beat the Raiders, are you okay if they lose this game? What do you want to happen, I guess, is my question.
I would not be okay if they lost by a significant margin, but if they ended up losing late, like on a last-second field goal, I'd be okay with it. I want them to win, though. And just because, they could drop to 17 with a win doesn't mean they will. That's contingent.
There's never been a good player drafted at 17, though.
That's a good point. I mean, the last time they beat the Raiders in a meaningless last game of the season was 2016.
That was the Kubiak.
Right? And they ended up falling into position to take Garrett Bowles.
So do we learn from history? What do they do?
That's not the point, though. The point is you still have to take the right player because a better tackle was on the board there.
Yeah, that's very true.
They just picked the wrong one. It's not really about where you pick because there's always going to be a better player. If you pick the wrong guy, there's always going to be someone you could have taken that's much better, a couple picks behind. So it's really not about draft position quite as much after, the top 10. It starts to get a little bit watered down. It's about how good is your draft board, regardless of where you are.
Yeah, well, and I mean, I think the bigger consequence there is you don't just drop 7 spots. You drop 7 spots in every round of the draft, right? Until shit gets like all watered down in the last 2 or 3 rounds with the compensatory picks.
But then it's even more of a lottery the lower you go.
So it's one of those things where, it definitely needs to be competitive. And I think it will be. There's no reason, after the way the Broncos played the Lions, I fully expect them to actually win this game. But if they lose, you have to feel okay knowing they do get that higher spot. And that could, like you said, you have to take the right player, but I don't know. Depending on how everything else shakes out, it could be the difference between a top type corner player and a lineman, I guess.
It could be, but you never know. And we won't find out until 4 years down the road, which is okay with me. But I want to talk about the things that actually matter about the draft. And the one thing that matters about the draft this week as it relates to this game is the Oakland Raiders passed 4 separate times on Drew Lock. Not just 3, because they had 3 first-round picks, but they also had the pick directly ahead of the Broncos.
Oh, that's right before they took Reisner and Locke.
Yeah, they took Reisner and then they took Locke after.
So the Broncos passed on Locke twice.
Yeah, I know everybody thinks that it was actually would have been better to take Drew Lock in the first round, even though he was there in the second round.
Saves them some serious QB cash. The Broncos are now in their Super Bowl window, right, where you can stack your team with all the expensive skill players and good players while you underpay your quarterback.
Yeah, it's true.
But since he's the second round, they don't get the 5th-year option. So
you're not.
That's why what the Ravens did with Lamar Jackson so smart.
Well, that's what they tried to do. That's what they tried to do with Paxton Lynch too. They traded back into the first round instead of waiting until the second round.
Yeah, but my favorite thing is when
just find the good player and then figure it out later.
When, because everybody likes to talk about the 2018 draft, what was the biggest regret or whatever. And if you bring up Lamar Jackson, my favorite thing is when somebody says, well, the Ravens passed on him too. The Ravens passed on Lamar Jackson too.
Yeah, well, they got another first rounder. Well, not that he was a great player, but if you can pass on him and still get him in the first round, then you should. That's how the draft works. You should try to get as much value as possible.
And the Ravens weren't even 100% sure they were going to take a quarterback.
Yeah.
In the first round, obviously, but at all. They were, we should start thinking about a quarterback. And then nobody took Lamar Jackson. And they're like, yeah, let's go back and get this guy. So it's, I don't know, just taking a little bit of a breather through Christmas, because I didn't do videos for Christmas Eve and Christmas. Just reading some of the takes on Twitter was quite entertaining. Everybody's hindsight takes
to keep us warm this winter.
Yes.
They've been hot enough to keep us nice and warm this winter season. What do we got
Anything
here?
else you're going to be watching for this Broncos Raiders game on Sunday? Phillip Lindsey, 42 rushing yards away from 1,000.
I think he'll get that.
Think he'll get it.
I want to see. Yeah,
Still 0 fumbles for Phillip Lindsey in his NFL career.
he got kind of close last week. Put
But
the
he
ball
didn't.
on the ground at the end of the game, but his knee was down. So, hey, 0-0.
For a small guy, I think that's impressive.
I think it's very impressive, and I hope it doesn't change this week.
Do you think
One thing, yeah, go ahead.
having bigger muscles makes you a little more prone to fumbles?
I think so because there's not as much give. I think you're absolutely right.
More odd points of contact hitting the ball?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, what were you going to say? Obviously something more important than
We gotta tell
my
him
muscle take.
I don't know about that. I was going to say, how do they adjust from the first game? Because the Broncos got really outcoached in week one. And the Raiders offense was basically running 1 or 2 step drops, getting the ball out as soon as possible. And that was with Bradley Chubb too. So now they don't have Bradley Chubb. How are they going to get that pass rush? Are they going to negate those quick throws in any way? Isaac Yiadom is not as big of a part of the defense as he was in week one.
Actually,
they still don't have a way to cover Darren Waller, really, but they got to figure that out. Probably aren't playing against Josh Jacobs, as far as I know, and he was a big factor in that first game too.
No, I think Jacobs might play this weekend.
Son of a bitch.
He still has a broken shoulder. He had an infection in his knee that he had
I would
to
advise them not to.
Surgery on this week. But it said it shouldn't affect his playing status Sunday. But I was like, does that mean because he's not playing?
Yeah. Well.
He's a kind of guy I think every coach just dreams about having on their team. Oh, you'll play through all of the injuries and still be good? Yeah, that's the guy we want.
They took him ahead of Drew Lock, so.
But not to point out your flaw. Isaac Yiadom has been playing more recently.
Yeah, no, he just hasn't been like the number 2 corner, pure number 2 corner.
Yeah, they're using him more. He's been playing better, but he was that first week or that first game. It was just after a couple plays, you're like, why are they not fixing this?
Yeah.
I don't know. I
still thought Bryce Callahan might play.
Yeah,
Bryce Callahan was literally warming up on the field, testing to see whether he was going to play or not. And little did we know, he would never set foot on the field again.
That was it. I think the Raiders peaked week 1, actually.
Yeah, I think
this
so.
Year. And I'm not even saying that to be a dick.
No, it was probably their best game.
And they've played some good games, but I don't think they're a good team yet.
So they could be out of it by the time this game starts.
Yeah, right? Their secondary's bad. I think that'll be the difference is the Broncos are actually going to throw the ball against Oakland.
Well, yeah. I mean, they threw the ball pretty well against them week 1. They just screwed up in the red zone. Deshaun Hamilton, who just had his best game as an NFL player, dropped that touchdown in week 1.
Oh, that's right.
He kind of screwed up in the red zone, missed a 60-something yard kick.
On the 64-yarder?
Something like
64,
that.
60, yes. Yeah, 64, 63, I think.
And but what I was going to say is there are playoff implications right now for the Raiders if a couple things go right, but by the time they kick off,
they'll know already.
They will already know whether – because it might not mean anything because they need let's see. They need the Titans to lose. They need the Texans to lose.
Texans play the Titans.
Oh, right. They need the Titans to lose.
They need the Titans and the Steelers to lose.
And they need the Colts
to win.
Win.
And I'm guessing, yeah.
So the Jags to lose.
Something like that.
So they need three outcomes to go their way. It's going to be tough. They got 3 outcomes. My best case scenario for that is they lose or they get all 3 of those outcomes to go their way, and then they still lose to the Broncos.
So they have the chance, and then they lose?
Yeah.
Fair enough. I could root for that.
I think that's the most hilarious outcome, typically.
Other things to watch for Sunday. Jameis Winston needs 7 interceptions to tie Vinny Testaverde's single-season record of 35 picks.
It's really impressive. It's really impressive.
And I believe he can do it. I want to believe Jameis Winston can do this.
You know what? Probably.
Would you, if you're Tampa Bay, do you bring him back, Will?
No.
Good.
The fact that
I was making sure that I wanted to continue having you help me in 2020.
Yeah, that was my job. That was my job interview.
That was a test, and you passed.
And they're probably going to too.
Oh, God.
Bad idea. What do they think? He's just going to become like the guy who passes for 30 touchdowns and 5,000 yards, but just stops throwing interceptions somehow?
Yeah. Limits his interceptions to under 10.
Yeah. 10. Okay. Good luck.
15 picks.
That's an MVP candidate if he does that, but he's going to be the first guy with 2 interceptions to join the 30-30 club. He's going to form the 30-30 club. He's going to be the founding member. And
30 picks and 30 INTs.
The way the NFL is going, I don't think
TDs.
We'll see that again because people just don't throw that many interceptions now.
No.
As they used to.
Well, Aaron Rodgers has 2 this season.
Absurd.
Then you've got like Breeze and Lamar Jackson and Kirk Cousins all have like 4 or 5.
It's crazy.
Just so many safer passes. And then the longer you're in the league, you know the coverages, you know where to go. And Jameis Winston's never going to learn that.
Nope. No, so he makes for very entertaining football, but
they've turned into a fun team to watch because he's insanely unpredictable, but
it's okay. So we don't need him to be if I'm running a team, I don't want him to be my quarterback for
fuck no.
Several reasons.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of like these yard markers, Carson Wentz is 250 yards away. So the Eagles are the only team that don't have a 4,000-yard passer in their history. You would have thought, maybe Donovan McNabb would have done it.
Yeah.
Ron Jaworski, maybe even Michael Vick that season. You might have even thought Carson Wentz had done it back in 2017, but of course he missed the last 2.5 games. So he probably would have, had he stayed healthy, probably should have been MVP that season too. But if he can do that, which, it's not certain, 250 yards is still a little bit, although it's against a pretty bad defense in the Giants. However, if he can do that, the only team that has never had a 4,000-yard passer will be the Chicago Bears.
Chicago Bears.
Sounds about right. But also, Jay Cutler had 4,000 yards passing in his second year starting with the Broncos and never did it with the Bears, which is interesting to me.
He needed Mike Shanahan. That's what he needed.
He did. He never got him.
Nope. He got him for a little bit.
Well, how much does Mitch Trubisky need to hit 4,000 this week?
Do you think Mitch Trubisky could ever be a 4,000-yard passer?
I think he could, potentially. I think most anybody could.
Trubisky needs 1,069 passing yards Sunday to get 4,000.
Okay, well, maybe it goes into overtime.
Yeah, what really hurt
I think that
Trubisky was
if he hadn't been injured.
When he played the Vikings, and only got 9 passing yards.
That one's tough, yeah.
Then got hurt. Against the Broncos, Trubisky only had 120 passing yards. The Broncos held him to his lowest passing day besides that Vikings game.
That game still pisses me off. They should have won.
Yeah. That was a
tough one. It feels like such a long time ago.
I know.
But the sad part of the season, although we want, I'll try to spin it in a positive light. They should have won 2 or 3 of those games, definitely, and the record would be flipped.
Yeah.
However, if they do win those games, there's a chance Joe Flacco is still the quarterback, and no one wants that.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to take the shit to get the gold, is what they say.
Right. And I don't even think Joe Flacco wants that at this point.
No. Do you think they're going to just release Flacco this offseason?
I don't know, because if you're going to pay him that much money, he's a serviceable backup, I assume.
I feel really good about Joe Flacco being my backup quarterback.
I would too, yeah.
But he can come in and win you any game if you got into a spot where, Drew Lock got a concussion or something like that. So I hope they keep him, but I think they can free like $10 million in cap space or some shit, even though they take a big cap hit. That'll actually be interesting to see what they do. I don't feel bad about.
I'll trust the nerds to figure that one out for me.
All right, so now we have playoffs to discuss. AFC, less interesting than NFC playoffs, but I'll just run through what I wrote down here, and then you can add any sort of intelligent thoughts you have.
They might not be intelligent.
If they're not intelligent, then just
thoughts.
Make something up. Make something up that's completely false, and we'll pitch as a true narrative for as long as until somebody calls us out.
Yeah.
All right. So Ravens locked in. We know that. Patriots, if they win, they clinch that number 2 seed, but their Super Bowl chances only 13.73%. That gets me a little hard. Kansas City Chiefs. They could fall to number 4. They currently have the 3rd seed. They could fall to 4 with the loss and the Texans win, or to 2 with the win and the Patriots loss. If KC wins in the morning, though, Houston is locked at 4. So Houston will know their fate by the time they play in the afternoon, and the Steelers need the Texans to beat the Titans to have a chance to get in. And if Houston doesn't have anything to play for, I would assume Tennessee wins that game. Although I don't know. Tennessee will need to win it. Texans pretty safe at 4. Bills locked in at number 5 no matter what happens. And then you have the Titans as the 6th seed, with the only possibility of the Steelers or Raiders getting that 6th seed if Tennessee loses. And like I said, the Steelers need the Texans to want to play for that game. So,
all I really have to add to that, and this is a very intelligent thought, by the way, please do not let the Steelers into the playoffs. Jesus Christ, they're an unwatchable team.
Yeah, it's
I can't imagine sitting through a wild card game with them switching back and forth between Devlin Hodges and Mason Rudolph the whole time.
Rudolph's on IR. Rudolph's on IR. You can't.
Whatever.
Even go
Paxton Lynch then. Even better.
Does that put Lynch as their backup?
Yeah, he's their backup right now.
Oh, I forgot about that. Holy shit. That actually makes me want Devlin Hodges to get hurt in a victory for the Steelers, so Paxton Lynch has to start a fucking playoff game. And then I sort of would want to see him win.
And of course it would be somehow it's always in Houston, and you know very well that it's going to be that Saturday 1 p.m. game. Wow.
See, in you're not knowing Rudolph was on IR, so just another mistake you made, Will. You taught me, though, that you reminded me.
Yeah.
Paxton Lynch is on their roster.
Okay, but if you're a fan of actually watching good football, you would want to see the Tennessee Titans in there, because the Titans played, I think, really well against the Saints and deserve to be in based on the way that they've played since they changed quarterbacks.
Oh, yes, it is Paxton.
They're a fun team to watch, too.
No, if you're a Tennessee Titans fan, you should be really excited about your team, because I think they can – I actually think Tennessee could beat the Ravens, but the Ravens are just kind of on another level right now, I feel like, compared to everybody else in the AFC. But Tennessee can beat any team in the playoffs.
I don't know about that. I think they could beat the Texans in round 1, and then I think they would.
I think they could beat the Bills. I think they could beat the Chiefs.
I think they could beat
the Texans, and I think they could beat the Patriots.
I don't think they're going to play the Bills. They will play the Texans if they get in, most likely.
No, I think they play the –
They could play the Chiefs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They could play –
I don't think the Chiefs are going to lose to the Chargers, though.
But if the Chiefs are the 3 seed, then they play the 6 seed. So I think the Chiefs and Titans have the most likely matchup for round 1.
No, it'd be the wait.
Yeah, 4 and
Oh,
5
you're right.
play.
You're right. No, I'm sorry.
Right now it'd
Correct.
be Chiefs, Titans, Texans, Bills.
That's right. Yeah, the Bills would go to Houston. Bills Houston, always an entertaining playoff matchup.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see. These are the teams I wanted to see in the playoffs. The Bills and the Titans. Teams that aren't normally there. Get the Steelers out of there. We've seen too much of them.
Yeah, you don't want to see the Steelers there. Titans deserve to be in.
They do. They really do.
Ryan Tannehill's been a great story. AJ Green is – every time I watch AJ Green, it's just like that dude is a fucking monster at receiver.
AJ Brown?
Yeah, sorry, AJ Brown. The Titans are going to sign AJ Green.
They should sign for AJ Green right now somehow.
They need to get all the AJs.
Yeah.
AJ Brown, sorry.
AJ
yeah, and
Feely.
Derrick Henry. I think because he was injured, I think he should be back for this weekend. But
let's hope
Titans could spoil somebody's playoff dreams for sure. And
Absolutely.
I don't know if they can beat the Chiefs in the wild card round, but like if you're the Titans and you beat Kansas City, I think that does like a ton for your confidence and momentum heading into whoever you play next. But the Titans already beat the Chiefs once in the playoffs with Marcus Mariota.
They did. Yeah, they beat him in the playoffs a couple of years ago. They beat him in the regular season this year.
Where Marcus Mariota had one of the most impressive playoff plays you will ever see.
Yes, threw a touchdown to himself.
Yeah.
Only in Arrowhead in the playoffs could that happen.
That was pretty glorious. Who do you think, if they win round 1, because I feel like the Texans and the Titans could both potentially win their first game and then lose in a horrible fashion the next time. And I say that just because the Titans have kind of, as good as they've looked at times this season, they've also looked pretty bad.
They've definitely got a ceiling, I think, this year.
And the Texans just historically, if they are lucky enough to win their first game, they just really shit the bed in their second game. And I think the Texans are the weakest team in terms of I don't trust their offensive line. I don't trust their entire defense. If Deshaun Watson's not playing like great football, they're not going to win. Like, I don't know.
Right. Yeah. No, I don't have a ton of confidence. I think the AFC Championship will be 2 of the Ravens, Patriots, or Chiefs.
Yeah, I think it's in that sort of wheelhouse. I'm hoping for some surprise. I'm hoping for a Patriots loss. That would be nice.
Yeah, no, I'd be fine with the Ravens going.
Yeah, I think the Ravens will go to the Super Bowl, but they just –
You never know, though, too, because, they look great in the regular season to finish it out last year, and then the Chargers just figured out Lamar Jackson, thoroughly figured him out in that playoff game.
Yeah, for one week.
Yeah, and that's all it takes. I don't know, people say that like, oh, just wait till the playoffs gets harder. It's like, well, there's only a week to prepare. There's the same amount of time to prepare between a playoff game and a regular season game.
Unless you're Bill Belichick, he's already just game planning the Ravens.
Oh, yeah. He knows.
Okay, so that's what's going on to get to the AFC playoff. NFC playoffs. All right. Right now it's 49ers at 1, Packers 2, Saints 3, Eagles 4, Seahawks 5, Vikings 6. Now the 49ers, if they lose, could drop them down to the 5th seed. Their Super Bowl percentage is 15.16, second best actually in the NFC. Packers, if they win and the Niners lose, Green Bay gets the top seed. They really kind of just snuck into that spot. It almost feels like
they've done it in the least impressive fashion, I think, ever.
And having a rookie head coach, it's impressive. It feels like, a season under his belt. They should be good next year too. Saints have the best chance to win the Super Bowl at 15.43. They got to win. Sean Payton said he's not resting his starters. they seem, oh man, the NFC's got like those top three teams are all really good. The Packers may be the weakest there, but they keep winning games. They're just doing it in ways we're not used to seeing the
Yeah,
Packers do it.
I could see them sleepily getting to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's their defense has just played pretty good football.
Right.
And they just haven't scored like a ton of points every week like people got used to seeing with Aaron Rodgers. So I feel like that's why people don't think they're as good of a team as they are, but they're pretty solid fucking football
They know
team.
how to win.
Yeah.
And they just don't – they kind of play – I don't know. They got blown out by the 49ers, and I think that kind of played into that narrative that they don't deserve to be there. But
right.
If they get the 1 seed, look, I think they should be favored in every home playoff game.
Yeah, agree. Lambeau Field, that's a great home field to have in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then the Eagles are at 4 right now. They just have to beat the Giants.
I'd rather see the Eagles than the Cowboys. I think you know that.
Oh, of course. Like, I like Philadelphia. I just don't think they're a good football team. And
I want to see Wentz get a playoff start, you know?
Yeah. Carson Wentz
he deserves
is
it.
An underrated quarterback.
Yes.
Doing a lot with very little this year.
Nothing. Sign AJ Green.
So they have to beat the Giants, which is not a guarantee, and the Cowboys have to win. If the Eagles and the Cowboys both lose, the Eagles still go to the playoffs, but that might be the funniest scenario to see this weekend.
Yeah, no, the Giants game is not a given whatsoever. Daniel Jones has been quietly, possibly rookie of the year.
Yeah, I mean, he's had
a couple of good candidates, but he's thrown 3 games with 4 or more touchdowns.
Yeah, he had 5 last week, right?
Yeah, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. If he didn't fumble like 1 out of every 3 times he touched the ball,
yeah, that was his big
locked
thing.
Up. But no, he's gone a long way from being the most ridiculed pick in recent memory to
looking like they got their guy.
Yeah, and people are so quick to forget how much they jumped on the Giants for that pick. And it was probably not a good pick still in hindsight because you could have gotten, I don't know, Josh Allen there and then waited till your second pick and still got Daniel Jones. But if Dave Gettleman, what he said was true, which I don't, how would I know, that someone would have taken him before that second pick, then yeah, I guess you gotta get your guy. Well, you can if you think that.
Because where did they pick?
Have that strong convictions.
Did they pick like 15 or 16 or something like that again?
Yeah. It was like the very middle of the first round. They took Dexter Lawrence.
Right.
I believe.
Who's been decent for them too. But, I mean, with Washington picking before, was it or after you, right? Washington picked at 14 with Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah.
They could have easily taken Daniel Jones.
They could have. Who knows if they like.
We don't know what was true.
I don't know.
Yeah, Kyler Murray, Daniel Jones, Dwayne Haskins, and then Drew Lock was the next quarterback to go in the second round.
Yeah, well, let's just put it like this. They all passed on Drew Lock.
They all just feed all the people who passed on Drew Lock.
That's right.
I was listening to Drew Lock talk today, and it just makes me like him more.
He's so fucking cool, man. He's so cool.
They asked him some dumb question about being a gunslinger, and he's like, look, I called myself a gunslinger, but I'm not going out there to force gunslinger type throws. Like, I'm going to do what the defense gives me. If they are, based on their formation, if I got to check down and do, 10, 12 play, 80-yard drives that take off 7 minutes, like that's what we're going to do. Like, I want to go out there and throw the ball. That's in my nature, but I'm not trying to force some bullshit narrative question you're asking me is basically like what he was saying. And he did it in a really nice way. And it made him sound football intelligent. And I was like, fuck, we got our guy.
He's basically like Baker. Like he's as confident as people think Baker Mayfield is without like all the insecurity that Baker Mayfield has too.
Yeah. I'm Baker Mayfield. If I were a quarterback, I would be a lot like Baker Mayfield.
It's really defensive at all times.
Really defensive, very insecure about my
Kind of a
ability
Joe
and
Pesci type of complex.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The way my cousin and I were talking about Drew Lock, he's like Jay Cutler, but with a great attitude.
Yeah, that's what I said a few weeks ago during that Texans game. It's like this is answering the age-old question of what if Jay Cutler cared.
Yeah, it's Drew Lock. You got him.
Drew Lock, baby.
Anyway, we got off track here. Seahawks at 5 again.
Yep,
we said,
could jump to 2.
Jump to 1.
Could they jump to 1?
Because
they have 4 losses.
Sorry, no, they can't jump to 1. They can jump to 2. I don't know what happens if the Packers and 49ers lose with the Seahawks. And then Vikings are locked in at 6. So
congrats. 0-9 on Monday Night Football.
Yeah. That was
you've done it. You've really done it.
I watched the least amount of that game of any Monday night game I have this season.
Yeah, probably the same. Yeah.
I was trying to.
You know what's going to happen?
What?
When Kirk Cousins steps on the field on Monday.
Sorry, yeah. I thought you had you were going with something else.
Oh no.
I was running errands Monday night. My wife and I went to dinner, and so I was getting over the flu. Right, Will?
Chili's.
And no, we went to this place called Lazy Dog. And
is it a brewery? It sounds like a brewery.
No, well, there is a Lazy Dog brewery in Boulder, but this is a different it's just it's like a bar restaurant. It's like a fancy Chili's, and actually the people next to us.
I reject that premise.
Oh, it's fancy
because Chili's is fancy. Chili's is fancy.
Like, man, if you could imagine Chili's getting any fancier, that's what Lazy Dog is.
I'm sweating thinking about it.
Anyway.
Your brain works slower like the 2 after like Christmas Eve and Christmas, just shoveling food and beer into your mouth. It's a miracle that we made it
to this far into the podcast.
This far in the show. I'm sorry for the terrible product that you're getting.
Yeah. Let me finish my story though. Okay.
You have to hear Brandon's stories.
I'm at Lazy Dog, and this is my first probably like big meal after the flu. First time I left the house after the flu. And we're getting ready to leave, and my stomach starts rumbling. I'm like, oh, this is not going to be good when I get home. And then we're driving to, go run an errand or two. And I was like, I can't make it home. And we were going to go to the store. And my wife's like, I don't think they have a bathroom in there. And I was like, what about down here? She's like, Bed Bath & Beyond has a bathroom. I know that.
It's literally Bath and Be. So it's in the name.
Yeah. We of course get behind like some slow ass car trying to park. I get into the spot. I run.
Hold on, can I guess where this is going really quick?
Yeah, go for it.
You had diarrhea in one of the display toilets at Bed Bath & Beyond.
If Bed Bath & Beyond is still in business, I will be very surprised. I'm not even like trying to exaggerate for the purpose of telling you a disgusting story. I nearly shit on the floor in the bathroom at Bed Bath & Beyond. I was trying to get like at least a piece of toilet paper down on that the public toilet seat. And I almost didn't make it. And it was literally the most disgusting thing that has ever come out of my body happened at Bed Bath & Beyond.
I have kind of a similar story that happened a few months ago where my friends and I went to go check out like this new fried chicken place that had just opened. And I was like, I was coming off of like eating really healthy for a while. And my body was just had not compensated. And about 20 minutes in, I'm like, all right, I need to go to the bathroom immediately. And of course the one bathroom is like right next to the cashier. So like she sees me go in, and long story short, I was in there for about 30 minutes, just praying for death. I was, worrying whether it was going to come out of both ends, honestly.
Oh man.
The lights were flickering on and off. It's a miracle I'm still with us. But
And now
the
you've
worst
been
was
on your 20th date with that cashier.
that's right.
That would have been
That's
a great.
right. I came out and I shook her hand and I said, "Whoops, I forgot to walk."
And that's when.
No, but it's tough, like walking in and the same person's on their shift still.
Oh yeah, I didn't have that. Nobody
Yeah.
saw me. Mine was discreet, but that's why I started this podcast, was to share and that was actually the third time during the flu I nearly shit my pants.
Yeah, I think that's
So,
it's a good excuse.
it is.
You can do that if you're technically you're ill.
I'm just waiting, like, after we post
You have
this
a
episode,
disease.
somebody will put in the time code of like
Shit
42
pants.
minutes in. Brandon and Will talk about diarrhea for 3 minutes. Skip to 48:09.
Skipped.
Okay, we'll finish this up now. Okay, wildcard projections right now.
Yeah.
Titans, Chiefs, Bills, Texans. Will and I figured that out, even though I wrote it down. I didn't realize. NFC is Vikings at Saints, Seahawks at Cowboys, if everything stays the same. Man, since we missed the picks last week.
Wait, it'd be Seahawks at Eagles.
Oh, yeah, why is it Cowboys? Oh, they're projecting the Eagles. Those idiots.
Get the fucking Cowboys always find a way to sneak in.
See, this is a wild card projection. They're projecting that the Eagles will lose and the Cowboys will win. Don't do that to me.
No.
All right. We've got
Just fucking win, Philadelphia, please, for the love of all that is. If the Cowboys were in the playoffs, having to sit through a wild card game with the goddamn Cowboys would be an insult to all of us and an affront to God himself.
a big one, a big affront.
An affront.
You want to do these picks?
Yeah, let's roll through them real quick.
This is a big one. It's gonna
Yeah.
help determine. Well, we're gonna go through the playoffs.
Don't think about it.
All right. We've got Packers, Lions. I think this is
I'll take the
pretty
Packers.
safe to say. I will also take the Packers. Matt
Jets.
Patricia, you think he's back next year?
Yes.
Didn't they already say he's back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jets versus Bills. So it's interesting. I'm going to take the Bills, though.
Yeah, even though they don't have anything to play for, I'll take the Bills. Adam Gase can keep talking about how much money he makes, and
with his burner
fuck
account
off somewhere. Dolphins versus Patriots.
I think we'll both take the Patriots there.
I'm only taking the Patriots
Right.
to stay competitive with these season pick totals, but I wouldn't be surprised if Ryan Fitzmagic goes in and gets a W.
Interesting. Bears versus Vikings. I'll take the Bears.
Yeah, I'm going to take that too because the Vikings don't have anything. They don't have anything to play for.
It's always hilarious when a team has not really earned the right to they've earned the right technically to pull their starters, but they're still kind of a shitty team and they still pull their starters in the last week. It's you guys have done well. You got us this 9-7 record. Now take a well-deserved rest.
Take the week off, boys.
I'll see you boys in the wild card round. We're down 35-10.
None of you are getting better at football by playing this week.
Chargers at Chiefs. I'll take the Chiefs.
I will too.
Browns at Bengals. The Bengals also have nothing to play for because they wrapped up the number one pick in very thrilling fashion, I might add.
Yeah, the two best games last week were the shit bowls.
Yeah. Let's give it to the Bengals.
I'm going to take the Browns.
Okay. Good call. Saints at Panthers. I think I will be taking the Saints. Will Greer, not a very good debut.
Oh, no, he did not have a good debut at all. Yeah, I'll take Saints too.
Falcons at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Falcons have really come on at the end of the season, so much so that chance they could keep Dan Quinn. You think that's good?
I think so.
That's a team that's just really reliant on their offensive coordinator more so than their head coach, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the reason they're winning again is because the offense has been better. Yeah, that's a tough. Like, I feel like he's not a bad coach, and he's the kind of guy you just hang around with and let him get you back to a Super Bowl, maybe.
Maybe.
But I'm going to take Atlanta.
I'll take Atlanta as well. All right, Colts at Jaguars. Colts played really well last week. Got 2 punt return touchdowns from Nyheim Hines. Jaguars lost to the Falcons on the road. If the Colts win this game, wait, hold on a second. The Colts win, that helps the Raiders.
Oh, right. I
believe. So that's really the only implication from this game.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to take the Colts. They're just a better team.
Yeah, damn it.
I'll tell you what, though. I like when the Jags wear their teal pants. I think that's a nice look.
Those are pretty fresh.
Yeah, I liked that. That stood out to me.
All right, Eagles at the New York Giants.
The most insignificant game of the week.
I'll take the Eagles.
Yeah, I think Philly will. They have everything to lose, so I don't know. It's tough though. I mean, Barkley and Daniel Jones coming off their career games. Darius Slayton, solid receiver the Giants found. I'll take the Giants in an upset. I'm switching.
Okay.
I'm going to switch.
He's switching.
What do I got?
Cardinals versus Rams. Cardinals put it on the Seahawks last week.
Yeah, and they could finish the season on a 3-game win streak.
Yeah, and I think they will. I'm going Cardinals.
I'm going to take the Rams.
Steelers versus the Ravens. Important thing to note is Lamar Jackson will not play. Earl Thomas will not play. Brandon Williams will not play. And Marshall Yanda will also not play.
What about Ingram? I
don't think he's playing.
Yeah, because he got hurt. I don't know. Yeah. I would like an update on that, actually. I'm still going to take the Ravens, though.
Yeah, God. Fuck.
The Steelers don't have a quarterback.
I know, but the rest of their team is pretty good.
Their defense is good.
I'll take the Steelers.
They're going to stop RG3?
I think so.
The big RG3 game? Okay. Titans versus Texans.
I'm just going here. I'm going Titans.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Titans too because there's a good chance the Texans won't need to try. Raiders, Broncos.
Take the Broncos.
I will take the Broncos as well.
Washington R words versus the Dallas C words.
God. I think the Cowboys win.
Yeah, I did too. No. Yeah.
We just put the Cowboys in the playoffs by our picks.
You did. I did.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah. And then 49ers, Seahawks.
Give me the Seahawks. I'm not rooting for them, but yeah, still give me the Seahawks.
I want to take the 49ers.
That'll be a good game.
Yeah, I'm excited for Sunday Night Football.
And watch that one.
I don't know how I'm going to do Sunday. There's no way I'm recapping all those games.
We'll find the important ones.
Yeah, it'll be up. There'll be a video up Monday about everything that happened.
The tour of Bed Bath & Beyond, maybe.
Yeah, part 2. I'll go back with a documentary crew and reenact the experience.
Be little like placards with like numbers on them, denoting each crime scene.
Yeah, it was like I literally thought about Dumb and Dumber when I was on that toilet.
Oh God.
And that's how we will end today's episode.
Yep, with Seabass from Dumb and Dumber attempting to have sex.
Not that scene, the other bathroom scene.
Other bad.
Where Harry is at Mary's house after Lloyd gives him all the laxative.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't almost get sexually assaulted by
Mary
a truck driver.
Mary from There's Something About Mary. All right. I think you're confusing movies now. The scene where Ben Stiller accidentally zips up his cock and balls. Yes.
No, the woman's name was Mary in Dumb and Dumber.
All right. It's been a good season.
Okay. See you guys. What's next Thursday?
Yeah.
That'll be our first episode in 2020.
Fuck, that's yeah.
Is that New Year's Day?
Yeah, you're gonna get a hungover, both of us probably.
Yeah. We'll have to record in the afternoon, late.
Even better than this one. Yeah.
All right. Bye.